Hey, good morning, Kevin with Root Development. We are going to go over arriving at our first job and the SOPs involved with that. And I figured I'd do a little bonus of a pre-trip before we actually get to the job. So we are in northern Connecticut, and last night we had some rain, and then now it's 31 degrees. So it's a little chilly, unexpectedly. But the first thing we're going to do is check our truck. I do have it running. I've let it run for a little bit just to warm up. I'm looking at all my lights, four-ways are on. We're just going to do a quick check. Tires are good. Importantly is we're going to be looking at the trailer connection. Trailer's latch with the safety pin in it. Our trailer breakaway for the electric brake is connected. Light plug is in. Safety chains are crossed. Makes that saddle so if this ever did fall off. Running lights are good. Four-ways are back here. Not that anyone's going to see that. But all our running lights on our trailer appear to be good. Tires. Just a quick walk around. Everything's flashing and dinging. Before we check out the other side, because it is cold, I am going to quickly just start the machines, because it's a real bummer to get out to your first job and realize that you have a dead battery or something when it's this cold. So just going to give them a quick start. Okay, we know they start when we get to the job. We'll definitely warm them up before we start. Got to get those oils going. We'll continue around real quick, check the other side. Okay, everything looks good. So we're going to climb inside and we'll have a little talk. And we'll start talking about our first stop and what we're going to do there. So SOPs, standard operating procedures. Everyone should be using them. And probably the most famous person that created them was a gentleman by the name of Ray Kroc, who started and owned McDonald's. And he realized that if he creates repeatable training processes and steps to follow, that errors don't happen. It becomes more efficient and more profitable. And people at a McDonald's in Albuquerque, New Mexico will get the same results as if they were in Auburn, Maine. So it's just the standardized system of how to make a burger, French fries, greet a customer, load napkins, all that. We do the same thing in the green space, and we have a little bit more at risk. So we're going to roll into our first job. We're going to talk about how we park, why we park, and what I do every day to help you as my team member understand what is going to happen throughout the day so we're on the same page. So we will see you at our first stop. Okay, as we're rolling up to our first stop, we're on a country road, but it's kind of a very blind area to park on the side of the road, so we're going to make some adjustments. One of the most important things to do is to be able to park safely for you, your crew, and the people that are going to be traveling by. I'm also checking the lawn for frost because it is so cold. So instead of parking here in front of his house where we have a raise in the road, a little bit of a corner, we're actually going to use a side street where it's going to keep us all safe and out of the traffic pattern. So picking and choosing your spot is always important. So we're going to go up, turn around, come back down. Something that we really dislike to do is to park in front of somebody's houses that we're not servicing, but in an extreme situation like this, we kind of have to keep everyone safe. We typically load our machines on the passenger side, which would be in the customer's yard, but we're not going to be in front of our customer. So we just have to shift and make our adjustments to loading the machines on the driver's side, which would be the road side. This is a very short dead-end road, so we'll be able to monitor the traffic very easily to make sure that it's safe. And talking this out will give a little bit more time for the sun to come up just to make sure there is not any frost on the lawn, because the last thing we want to do is drive on a frost-covered lawn and cause some damage to the plant, leaving tire marks for the rest of the cold season until the spring grows it out, because it seems like the cold is here. So we're parked safely. We're not blocking a driveway, a fire hydrant. That's a driveway across the street. Here comes the first car. We'll put on our turn signal. Well away from the intersection. Our client we're going to be servicing is across the street. As we get ready, we'll put our cones out, but the first thing we're going to do is our CRM system that we use. I'm going to check into our first job of the day. So it has a timestamp of when we were here. It'll also, when we finish, we'll send a completion email to the customer of everything we've done and an invoice if need be. Now, another piece that we use is we're going to be connected with our Sena Bluetooth headsets. They are noise reduction, which is nice, but they also are communication between you and me. So when we're out on the field, we can talk to each other. If you have any questions, if I see anything that needs to be changed, I can be able to notify you that as well. Our main focus and plan is going to be, I'm going to provide one service each time and you're going to do the other. So an example of that is with fertilization, I'm going to go and do the cut-in. So that means all the hard edges, driveway, around the house, around the property, the perimeter. I do that border pass. And that's going to allow you to do the main field back and forth in your pattern that you're used to, taking your granulars and throwing them into the tire tracks of your last pass. But it's going to give you that area around that border where you can turn around, back up, and start straight again. We'll talk about that as we get closer to the job itself, but that will be the pattern we run. If anything's on any hard surfaces, any granulars, I'll take care of that and blow that off. But while we're waiting, we're going to let things warm up a little bit more. We're going to go out and unload everything and get the machines running, and you can see that, how we set up our cone pattern, and then we're going to have a little tailgate talk on the back as we load of what we're going to be doing on this residential property. If the winds don't kick up like they say they're going to, it won't be too bad, but they're talking about some pretty crazy winds. So it definitely will be the coldest day we've had since last year. And here comes the winds. So we're going to set up our traffic pattern, put our cones out, make sure that we are visible with always flashing lights, cones. It is a slow street, but the sun is going to be rising and it could cause some issues on them. So I'm just going to pull the machines out. I'm going to park them in our traffic pattern here and let them warm up while we get ready to get ourselves warmed up for the day. Okay, we'll let those warm up. We'll go down here, show you the signs that we have to put up. That's Connecticut state law. So whenever we're making an application, we have to put notification that the property was serviced by us. But typically, we would put a yellow one out if we were doing any type of pesticide application. So if it had an herbicide or an insecticide, we would be putting that up. This application, we're just doing nutrition, so we get to use these nice white ones, and it just says property was treated without pesticides. It still gives people the visual cue that one, we were on their property, and two, someone walking their dog or coming by knows that there was some type of fertilizer applied on the grass. We have to put the date on that we were there, and the sign should stay for 24 hours based on Connecticut law. And today is 11/11, so I want to say Happy Veterans Day to all our men and women of service that have gone before us to give us the freedom to be out here doing what we're doing, and that is serving our customers with fertilization. We are a huge family of military, and we honor them and respect them to no end, and very happy to have many veterans in our family. So I'm going to go ahead and make up a bunch of these. Because your machine has the bucket, I'm going to let you have these in the side little holder, and you can place those out in your application time. So we'll leave these right here. Sign has to go up first, so as we enter the property, I'm going to start doing the border, and then you can go ahead and stake the property. Once I get the border in and comfortable, you're going to find the area where you can make the longest pass in each direction most comfortable, the less turns on the property is going to be better. So we're going to get busy, get going on the work, and then we'll report back on how we're going to load up for the next stop, close out of the CRM system, and move on to the next job. Okay, we're back from our first lawn, and we're loading up the first machine here. Hard to see, dark. Put it into the front stops, setting the brake. Shut it down. We have our Bluetooth headsets on. And now I'll bring the big machine in. Definitely found the dog poop today already. Always keeping an eye on traffic. Seems like everyone's on their phones these days. Brake is set. Now we're going to come out, picking up our cones, perfect. Put them off where they belong. I'll get the tailgate and we'll meet you in the truck. We'll go over our CRM and closing of the day. So make sure you walk curbside, always looking around for traffic. Here comes a car out of this driveway. Clear down my way. Jump into the warm truck. Okay, that was completion of the first stop of the day. We're just going to go in and fill out our information in our CRM system, and then that'll give us a routing to our next stop. And it's going to be a long, chilly day, I'll tell you that much. Thanks for watching. We will catch you on the next one.